Hello everyone and welcome to Project Love Sky. Today we will be doing a reading to receive some loving encouragement, guidance and gifts from the universal energy of love. And I first want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed, liked the video or supported my channel in any ways. We have just reached 150 subscribers, so I am so grateful for all your support and for the love you have shown for this channel. So before I get into the reading, as usual, I would like to say that whatever I do here on this channel, you have the abilities and the gifts to also do these as well in the ways that are most natural to you, because it's, for me, I believe it's a human nature for us to be able to connect, to listen to our intuition, and also work and live in a way that is harmonious with the universal energies of love. So through your heart energy center, you too have that direct connections with source, with the universe, or however you refer to that higher power, the higher intelligence that is helping guide you and support you. So in that sense, if you have any tools you'd like to explore, whether it's tarot or any other means of working with the universal energy to connect and receive synchronicities, I would highly encourage you to explore and find out what mode is what tool is the one that is most natural to you. Okay, and with that started, let's get into the reading. So I first have been called to pick out the calcite crystal for your pile. This is white calcite. So I'll show you the crystal for a little while. So if you feel inspired or called towards looking at the meaning of this particular crystal stone that is white calcite, I would highly encourage you to even pause the video now and look up the meanings and messages that comes with white calcite, because there will be synchronicities there for you, and the universe will be guiding you and leading you to the message that is just right for you. And as for the research that I have done before this reading, I'll be reading to you a little bit what white calcite, what they're associated with. So calcite, white calcite specifically, they are associated with all the energy centers. So they're believed to have the energy that helps cleanse and amplify your energetic centers, so all of it. And they also have connections to the crown energy centers, the third eye energy centers. So maybe more of an emphasis for some of you on the higher energetic systems or the higher energy centers. And I have found that calcite itself, some people believe that it was named after the term Merkaba. So Merkaba, if you're not already familiar with what Merkaba symbolically stand for, or what how the narratives behind the concept, or the sacred geometry that is the Merkaba. So some people believe that the Merkaba represents the energetic vessel that ascended masters use to travel through different dimensions, or travel to a higher density, a higher dimension per se. So for me, dimensions are just various different pockets of density, right? So I feel like there could be an energetic upgrade in your ability to move through different frequencies, to realign yourself to a higher state of being, to realign your mind, your emotion, mind, body, and soul to a higher vibrational state at this time. So whatever lessons you are going through, you could find that they serve in helping you understand how to adjust, how to rebalance, recenter, or realign yourself to love energy, or to kind of elevate your energy to align more with higher forms of love. So look into the symbology, look into the sacred geometry that is the Merkaba if you're not already pretty accustomed to the meanings and the associations that comes with Merkaba and their what they are believed to stand for. Okay. Apart from that, calcite also has one of the other keywords that are often associated with calcite are ascensions. So like we said, maybe you are learning and at this time your lessons are helping cleanse the energies that no longer serve you and amplify the energies that are uplifting your soul to prepare for a step of energetic ascension, an ascension of the soul and upliftment of your consciousness. So at this time, you might also find that your psychic abilities or your soul's gifts, in whichever way, shape, or form your gifts manifest as, right? You may also be learning how to incorporate it more, understand it more, or you might just simply feel like those gifts are coming online more and being activated to a higher capacity. So keep your just have this awareness that there could be an upgrade, like as new skills unlocked, new skills being, upgraded in your skill tree, so that they serve you in helping you transform in this time of upliftment. So there's because this stone has a lot to do with the Merkaba, and some people believe that the stone assists in interdimension traveling or astral projections, astral traveling, in whichever way you understand or label that particular gift and ability. So they're having me just highlight this particular ability, the ability to go into induce a trance state in the alpha brainwave, in the theta brainwave, or even in the gamma brainwaves, could be more fluid, and it could feel more natural to you at this time, that you explore more of this side of yourself, whether you practice astral projection, whether you practice interdimensional traveling or receiving downloads, or in any states, right? Meditations or whichever tools you are using. There's just an emphasis and a highlight that the universe wanted me to place specifically on this gift for some of you in understanding it more, in what ways of looking at it is most suitable, most natural to you, right? Like for me personally, I don't label that particular gift as astral traveling or as astral projection. However, I have an awareness that in meditative states, sometimes I do align and connect with different densities, different pockets of densities and frequencies, where my etheric friends, the guides, the universe, would deliver messages or communicate with me in those spaces. So maybe for some of you, it's just a matter of understanding the nature of that gift and not necessarily labeling it or having it need to fit a certain identifier. So allow yourself to learn through the different poles of wisdom, right? And extract the knowledge within to see how you could better understand and better work with that side of you and that ability that you own, in the way that is most flexible, most freeing for you, okay? So apart from that, the calcite has, people believe calcites help, and of course this is not a health advice, this is just a synchronistic message that are often associated with calcite. Some believe that they strengthen the bone, the skeletons, and the joints. So to me, that is the universe. I feel like they're just trying to remind us to relook at our principles, our foundation. So the skeleton serves as that core, it gives you that core, how do you call it? What's the word? The ability to uphold your core principles, the ability to uphold your movements, the ability to uphold any embodiment that you are. So with that case, there's also a need to understand and strengthen your principles, strengthen what and why you are using these gifts for. What and why are, like, how are you approaching your spirituality? How are you approaching your practices? And from what intentions and foundations are you walking forward with the universe, while at the same times allowing flexibility for yourself to learn, allowing the abilities to grow and extend, like a joint, right? The joints, they give us movements, they give us like ability to rotate, to be flexible. So how do you have a strengthened principle while that can keep growing, that can keep maneuvering, and that can have a certain flexibility and room for growth, okay? So I feel like that's a very important message for some of you as well, to relook and to have a healthy relationship with like a healthy relationship with your practice, with your embodiment, and with your mindset and perspectives in moving forward. The stone is also connected to the alignment of the emotions and the intellect. So there could be what could be helpful at this time is also that alignment of your head, your heart, and your gut, right? So maybe the 3 brains concept could be useful to you, or understanding how the emotions and the logical mind could work as one and work to help serve one another instead of it being against each other. So find ways where you could gain more knowledge on this particular area of working with the thinking mind in harmony with your emotional body or your intuitions, okay? Because I feel like I have been there too, and I'm still learning. Like in this path, sometimes we tend to give like the logical mind or the mind like a bit of a bad rap, right? We can, like I've heard some say, like, the logical mind, like you can just cast that aside and like have your intuition lead you through life. But the mental faculty or the mental function of a human is one of the most valuable evolutionary success that we have had as a species. So of course, when you develop, it's continuing, the consciousness of the human race is continuing to evolve. So in that sense, how do you evolve both, right? Like the mind, the intellect, and the intuition. To choose either one or to compare either one as being better than the other in some times could fall into the mindset of polarity, of competition or comparison, with a little hint of judgment, right? So when we when we see these patterns, these old programs within us, and we become aware of that internal ways of processing things, you allow yourself to free yourself of those programs. So even now, I feel like a lot of you have, I felt that click. There's something that's clicking within you that you kind of like, oh yeah, maybe I've been doing a little bit of that, right? So now you are the observer of your own consciousness. So you are no longer the mind, and you are observing how everything plays out, how everything interacts in such a beautiful way. And I feel like that's a good sweet spot to be in. Okay, so that is the messages that comes with your anchoring object or your totem today, which is the white calcite. Of course, if you feel called to pause the video and look at what white calcite means to further understand or find your own synchronicities, like please do it. Like feel free to go ahead, and I would encourage you to kind of just see where your intuitions, where the universe leads you. Okay. So we have here for you today the tarot, the angel tarot. The names of each deck that I'll be using for any of my videos are always down in the description box below as well, so in case you are interested in any of those tarot decks. So with this, before I get started, I feel like some of you may benefit from looking into the Starseed Collective, that is the Lyran Collective. A lot of you may have had worked with the universe, or the universe may have approached you in a form of an angel, an archangel, or some feline humanoid creatures, or basically through some birds messengers, some cat messengers, your spirit animals, spirit friends. Because when I got this deck, when I kind of was able to connect the dot that there was an energy pool that I've been working with for a while that had approached me in various different forms. And I was able to finally pinpoint that they're like the same collective, the same frequency of energy in a particular pocket of like the classroom of density. So, and I've been able to kind of connect the dot and know that the angels, when they approach me as angel, archangels, Lyrans, Bastet, Sekhmet, any other forms that has to do with winged-like creatures or feline cat-like creatures or humans, they're the same group of guides. So they just wanted me to let you know, in case you they're saying there could be something in understanding the natures of in their natures from the perspective of the starseed pool of knowledge that could be useful to you at this time, that could clarify some things up. And for you who might not know, and just generally, Lyrans are believed to, like, we humans believe that, how do you call it? When we work with their energies, a lot of people have said they have like avian-like characteristics. So like winged humans, winged humanoids, like so we know them as angels, archangels. Some people refer to them as like the cat people. So any of the Egyptian gods, any of the mythology figures that may have had feline characteristics, they also very strongly resonate with the same frequency of the Lyran. So they're telling me that you'll just, if you're interested, go and check it out, and you will be able to understand what they're trying to tell you, because it's something that you have to go through experiencing it, understanding it, and learning it through your own energetic channel to kind of extract the wisdom out of it by yourself. And so I was only allowed to just open up that door of knowledge generally. So during the readings, if there's any messages or downloads or intuitive knowings that comes through your heart, your energy centers directly, please trust those as your number one synchronicity and your number one priority. Even when I'm saying something else, please trust your own intuition and trust your own guidance, because whatever comes through your energy channels is always the best compass. It is always the best messages of guidance, because it's you directly co-creating and connecting with the universal energies of love. It will be better than anything I could give you here. So please practice your discernment and tap into your intuition, into your heart energy center, and see what comes out during the reading as well, okay? You have the Ace of Pentacles that just flew out. I feel like this one wants to come up. Okay. So they open only one for me first, so we'll just talk about what flipped open first. Heart energy center, the green color. Abundance. A lot of you may have been working with the abundance energy. And that, to me, this reading is not just your career, it's not just your financial stability or financial freedom. It is abundance in all shapes, way, and form that you could experience here on earth, in your human experience, in your earthly journey. So with this, they're just saying keep on working on understanding and realigning yourself to the energy of abundance in whichever, in the most open way possible. Say if you have an ace, it's very difficult to pick just one form of abundance, right? So maybe they're telling you to just work with the frequency of abundance itself, without the need to specifying what forms it will come in, what kinds of abundance it will entail. So say if you're someone who have been manifesting abundance of financial freedom, abundance of love, abundance of health, abundance of life force energy, they're saying you could receive more than just one form of abundance at a time, and they would highly encourage you to find that big coin that covers all of that in one big umbrella. And they're saying to them, if they were to suggest, and if they would highly recommend that directly just saying abundance is most of the time more than enough, because it gives the universe so much room to send you what you need instead of what you thought you might have wanted. And they, from your etheric friends, they are able to see the potentials and the bigger picture of your spiritual growth and how they could assist with that. But sometimes when we have a certain specification of abundance, your energy pours into that. And at the same time, they're saying you can have a preference, but and know in your heart that you're open, you're more open to just that. That's basically it. They want you to find a way where you can be open to any forms of abundance, be open to abundance by itself, right? And then see what comes in, because I feel like for some of you, you may have been focusing on the money aspect, the career aspect, but there are so much more abundance that will fulfill your heart energy center that is waiting to come in. You have 2 major arcanas. You have the 3 of Swords in the recent past. The reason that that some of you may have been manifesting quite specifically, more specific than you usually would, is because there was something that kind of really shook your emotional state, and it really hurt your heart space. And in that sense, look, heartache. That particular heartache they're telling me it's different for each and every one of you. Some of you is relationship. Some of you is to do with a career that has not go as well as you have hoped for it to go, or didn't go quite according to plan. They're saying because of that heartache, because you have been healing that and you are continuing to heal that. Sometimes that is why we narrow our focus, or we tend to want to attach or invest more energy into one particular area of manifestation. However, in this time for that healing to occur, maybe another form or other areas of abundance could come in to support this healing. They're saying you did a very good job, and you are still doing a very good job in transmuting, in recentering your heart back, and in opening up more potentials of growth, of embodying higher forms of love from the past experience that you've had. And you did a very good job in using your upper energy centers in guiding you here. They're like, kudos to that. Keep doing that, okay? Like, because when it comes to a space of the heartache, sometimes your intuition and your emotional states, or the universe and their downloads, could really help play a big part in giving you clarity. So they're saying, of course, the thought pattern in heartaches could be tangled at times, and that is why your intuition may have been a little slightly more useful at times, but they're again emphasizing that they don't want you to cast away your logical thinking completely, but observe and just use this as an opportunity to observe how your thoughts intersect, how your thoughts comes together in a time where you're in emotional pain, and slowly teach yourself or observe and have the awareness of how you could bring that thought pattern into a more calming state, into a state of clarity, that your thoughts work to serve you and works alongside your intuition again. Because when they're telling me, it's very understandable when you have a lot of emotions that you have to process at one time, that your thoughts are all over the place at times, or they simply are a little on the negative side. So they're saying, embrace the nature of that for what it is now. Use radical acceptance to love that side of yourself that is still learning, and at the same time observe and find the areas of growth, of potentials in this particular lessons that you have been through. And I feel like for most of you who are watching, you've been doing exactly that, and you've been doing very well, and they really want to commend you and thank you for that. Self-observation, self-awareness, and the accountability, the understanding of how you could improve upon that, while at the same time they're saying take it easy and do it in a way that is loving and is natural to you. Okay, they want to help you learn this in a way that warms your heart, in a way that brings you more freedom and align closer towards the higher frequency of joy, of wholeness, of abundance, and of love. Okay, from here on, 3, 1, 5, 12. Okay, I'm just looking if the number says anything. They pointed, but I don't feel like it's 3 plus 1, 4. That's a 9. Nah, there's nothing with the numbers that I can sense right now. However, from here, why do they keep tapping me about the numbers? What about the number? What about the numerology of this? Or some of you may have been receiving a lot of synchronicities in a form of numerologies or numbers. Yeah, I know. It's angel numbers using the Lyran or this particular collective that is assisting you today. Angel numbers could be their big ways of coming across, of connecting with you. So have an awareness of those numbers. And if you have a particular set of numbers that is your lucky number, or a sequence of numbers that you really like, you can ask them and say, like, I would want to connect and work with you and be more aware of these guidances. So I really like this number. Like, could you show me more of these numbers in a time where I'm in doubt, in a time where I'm in confusion, just to reaffirm me that I am on the right path, or just to lead me and show me, like, help me be aware of a certain thing, right? They're saying sometimes, like, when angel numbers pop up, like right now I'm looking at the clock and it's 5:23. That is 5-5. So 2, 4, 5, 5. A lot of fives. 5. Okay. Some of you may have so yeah, in that sense first, that you can ask them to show you a particular set of number, and that could serve you as more direct confirmation in a certain time, right? They are willing to work with you in that way as well. And some of you may have been seeing number 5s a lot, and they're saying, I know my sister has been seeing 5s, but in a different way, in a way where I had to kind of take notice and be aware just now, like 5:23, and you kind of have to add the summations, like the reduction of that numbers, right? So if you see 1414, if you see like anything that adds up to a 5, or your favorite number might be 555, a sequence of 5s, they look up the synchronistic meanings of that number 5. To me, 5 stands for a very significant time of change, a shift in your vibrational state, that you are about to shift ahead in a really, really good momentum, that your life may never be the same again. It is that big of a shift. So if you have seen number 5s, know that the times that have been challenging is because you are moving to a new world, to a new you, to the new earth, in a sense, where a different timeline, a different parallel possibilities that you align yourself with and are continuing to align yourself with, that is of a higher vibrational frequency. And that means it could be reflecting in your realities, in your earthly experience in due time, because right now you're still aligning towards that. And every day, every moment, every decision you make, every awareness that you have towards the self is you aligning closer to that. So give yourself more credits in this growth journey, okay? Hierophant, angel of blessings. So they're telling me that if you in any way, shape, or form work to help in a collective manner, if you're working with people, if you work as leaders, healers, or any other paths of being of help and service, yeah, any paths of service that has to do with co-creating with the universe, they would highly recommend you to keep pouring your energy into that. From here on, a mindset that could help is, where can I serve? Where can I share what I know? What more can I do to be of service to others and myself at the same time? Because the Hierophant, the more he teaches, the more he gets to revise those lessons. The more he spreads the joy, the more freedom he brings for himself in a position of service to be his or her authentic self. So it's always an interchanging energy. It's a co-creative space. And they would like you to find a place where you are neither on a pedestal and the others are not just looking up to you. It's a place of co-creation. A sweet spot of intersection is what is going to provide you with a key in moving forward. And you have their blessings in this, in taking a different, I'm hearing your way of passing on knowledge and your ways of helping, or of getting the words out, of sharing what you know. It's going to be something that is quite different from other forms of said teachings, right? Like, because to me, like, sometimes, let's say, how do I put this? They're just saying your way is sharing, is serving in sharing, in a mutual ground, in a co-creative space. So it could be different from the traditional ways of how spirituality and how this knowledge are usually passed on, or how usually expected to be shared in a particular traditional manner. So if you are someone who's doing that, they highly encourage you to keep doing that, because not only that, it's going to create, it aligns with your path of abundance. And to remind you again, abundance that is beyond just money. It could bring in some connections, some support, like-minded kindred spirits that help you feel more supported in moving forward. Because what you may not know is that you've been the energy of the Hangman, angel of prophecy, and you have a moth there. Definitely a rebirth for you, a rebirth that is about to come in when you free yourself from the tree of wisdom. And they're saying, take your time hanging from that tree of wisdom. The Hangman does not stand, to me, it does not stand for procrastination. It does not stand for laziness. If you are someone who have understood the Hangman energy to be that way, they would really, like, they're saying you would really benefit from re-looking at the Hangman. Because to me, the Hangman means someone who's so in tune with his or her inner guidance, and is able to sense the momentum of the self enough to know that you need more stillness, that you need to let the momentum subside before moving on to the next chapter. And that is why they hang themselves head down backwards, to gain the other perspectives, to gain the flip side of things, to look at things from a new dimension, a new consciousness or state of observation. And that is what you've been doing. And if that's what you've been doing, they're telling me that it was a very wise decision, and it only reflects on your ability to sense energy, to be in tune with yourself and the universe. And it takes strength to hang like that, right? That is not a simple position to be in. It's not an easy energy to be in, but because you've chosen to take time for yourself, this is why your frequency is rising in such a natural, organic way, organic growth. Okay, and they really are excited and just grateful, and just I'm getting an overwhelmed sense of like proud. They're not like proud, but they're really enthusiastic, and are supporting you and encouraging you that this card, this energy that you pulled and is able to pull out of yourself to be like this, to do this and take time for yourself. They are so like in awe of your courage and of your ability to have that sensitivity to sense that something's off, and therefore I need to hang around this frequency for a while until I figure it out. And because look at that, the angels has his wings. He could fly away anytime, right? But they know that you benefit from hanging in this particular frequency for a while, instead of instead of the energy of, how do you call it? Like, okay, they don't want me to say that word. Okay, so they just took it out of my head. But in terms of, they commend you for understanding that you need to stick around this particular frequency to learn something more, instead of rushing to our next chapter in a state where you deep down know that there's a residue or there's a lesson that you could have still learned if you had stick around, if you had taken more time. So that particular inner knowing is so valuable and so precious, and they are just your guides that are stepping through. And there's a lot, I feel a lot of them coming through as a big collective, and a lot of them work with this particular collective of frequency that is angels, archangels, Lyrans, Bastet, Sekhmet, any other feline creatures, or maybe your spirit animal. You may have had pets, cats that had passed away, bird pets that had passed away. They're just very excited and happy for you that you made that decision to stick around, to fine-tune your frequency, understanding that on the eternal time span, there's no need for rush. Lucid dream, there it is, the astral traveling that we were talking about when we were discussing the messages with the crystals. You have white. Is that the soul star? I don't recognize that. Is that the soul star? Or the stellar gateway? But either way, it is I feel like it could be the soul star. If you do know this symbol, please help type in the comment if you could help me confirm if this is the soul star chakra, or if it's any other higher energy centers. You know what? I'm gonna take time and check for you. So this reading is going to be one of those longer readings, I guess. For your energy, it seems like they really wanted to talk to you. Let me check if it does not say what energy center that is. But it does mention that for this card, some of your archangels may have been Metatron, Sandalphon, Raziel, Haniel. I don't work with a lot of archangels, so I'm able to pronounce only some, but you will be able to recognize the ones that you are connected with. So Haniel and Raphael. Yeah, so those are the ones associated with this symbol. So if you feel called to work with this particular collective, or the guides that are running this workshop on Earth, the guides who are standing by in this particular pocket of dimension of density and frequency that runs the workshop for these lessons, they may also go by the name of Metatron, Sandophon, Raziel, Haniel, and Raphael. So if any of those identifications, personifications of their energies resonate with you, maybe you could learn something from one of these pools of knowledge that is from the perspective of archangel guides, okay? So they're not telling me what energy center that is, but I felt like they wanted me to just call out some of their identifiers for those of you who work with archangels, or might be, it's just a door they wanted to open for a certain message or wisdom that is behind that personification of their energy. So look into it if you feel called to do so. Spring, awakening, projects, renewal. There's still a bird guide. So it's another confirmation that they are overseeing this process, this spring, this harvesting process, and the spring energy. So the energy of abundance is that which resonates a lot to the energy of spring. So if you have been learning lessons of abundance, it is in this particular classroom or workshop space of their density. It's their specialty, and that is why they wanted to step forward to reaffirm you that there is another awakening that's happening that has to do with your projects. Some of you, it could be a project that you've designed and thought of a while ago that is being brought back, or it could be other areas of your life in that you have manifested abundance in, say your health, your love, connections, relationships, abundance in those areas that you may have kind of forgotten about it already, that is about to come in. And that is why they wanted you to be open to any forms of abundance rather than just a particular area of abundance. And another confirmation, these are butterflies, butterflies. It is a time of transformation, of metamorphosis, and you've been through numerous metamorphoses, maybe back to back as well, because there's so many and they're just in sequence. So I'm hearing you have had an abundance of metamorphosis. You've had successfully aligned yourself with the abundance of awakening, the abundance of ascension and of upliftment. And maybe that's one that's really worth celebrating, right? Like your path, your learning journey, you are in such abundance to growth. You're to the growth energy. You are in such abundance of growth and of ascension, of awake, however you refer to that upliftment, right? But there's a lot of those happening for you in terms of shedding the old and welcoming the news, and becoming more of the butterfly energy. I suddenly am starting to sweat. There's a lot of heat coming through. Yellow. Okay. So there could be a certain awareness like this that you have to be aware of your bodily symptoms, or how this particular collective of frequency may work a lot through sending you physical signals. So be aware of that. It could come in a form of energies moving through you. It could come in a form of heat. It could come in a form of even body tensions that is waiting to be released. So take time to kind of learn how to work with these abilities. It is a gift, right? It is a form of communication that some guides, if you have that within your soul, you and it's already activated, the guides could also be communicating to you in that way as well. And if it's uncomfortable, if it's overwhelming at times, you could ask them to show you how to readjust and realign in a way that it is most natural to you, and realign this energy in a way that is just right for me. Okay, maybe that's all you need to ask them is, please help me realign this energy in a way that's just right for me. And as I was saying that, a lot of the heat kind of dispersed. So you could get a similar confirmation when you do ask them that. Sense if there's a shift in your energy, in your bodily functions in that particular moment, because they're saying like it could be very obvious to you as a confirmation that they want to send you that that's a gift, that what you have is actually a gift that you've not really understood. So look at it in that way, right? I would be learning about this too, because I have these particular areas that it is not, I don't quite understand it much yet, but we will just learn it together, right? So hopefully by the next reading I would know more about this particular gift, because I do know that a lot of the abilities or communications from guides could come in, like they could move through your body in many different ways that we may not be accustomed to. So they're just saying some things in your body are actually a gift and not a curse, but you just didn't know. Or you just didn't know you had this and you just never knew how to work with it. It could be something that your soul has activated quite later on. So it's one of your most recent gifts, one of your latest gifts. And that is why you might not feel so fluent with it, but nonetheless it is a gift, and they would really want to give that confirmation to you. So if you have these gifts that cause you pain, or you're struggling to understand it, I'm sending you so much love, because I do have those too, and we'll learn and we'll uplift each other alongside one another. Okay, so lucid dream could be another one. If you have these mental images, they just have awareness that there's opportunities there, right? Same with your other gifts, your bodily functions, so any other gifts you have, right? Just be aware that they bring opportunities. They're not here to limit you. They're here to open up more opportunities for you once you shift your mindset and expand with this new you. Third energy center, solar plexus energy center, it requires a new identity. It requires a new relationship with yourself, with these gifts, for you to fully come into power of love with it. So maybe you will have to take time to understand that you have an abundance of gifts in this lifetime, and that means you can take time to learn it. Rites of passage, right? You may be going through some sort of a rite of passage so that you could be in a place where you could be someone who serves and share and uplift yourself and others. So this could be a part of that rite of passage. It is a part of your initiation, and that is why you have chosen to hang about here, because you understand how important this initiation process is to your soul. And they're saying congratulations on that knowing, on that awareness. They're showing me there's a side of you that's almost hidden that is about to be revealed, that is just a little bit behind these overgrowth or these growth that is happening, and you will be able to identify and recognize that the more you serve, the more you allow yourself to share your heart energy, the more this side of you will emerge. It is a path where your growth and the growth of others work hand in hand alongside one another. So your part, I've heard from Ram Dass that he had learned from his guru early on that his path was through service. His path of enlightenment or of ascension was through service. And maybe you could be someone who's like that as well, where your path is, it coincides with the path of service. However, they're telling you that the learning, the momentum is also about the balance of that, right? The balance of your service and the time you give to yourself to internalize. So give yourself as much space as you would like to give to others, to yourself. Give as much time and patience and energy as you would in serving others to yourself, and vice versa, right? No matter on which side of the scale you are, if you are more fluent with working on yourself than working with others, or if you're more fluent in serving others rather than giving time to yourself, either way, that scale has to be balanced out into unity, into co-creation. So to realign with that love energy is basically the entire, they're telling me it's like the big chapter of this lesson that you are in right now. Apart from that, is there anything else you'd like to say? Look at the higher energy centers. Some of you could benefit from understanding the function of the soul star chakra, or the soul star energy center, which is the 8th energy center that is just above your crown, outside of your physical vessel. So these are energy centers that are still within your soul, within your electromagnetic fields, but are just outside your physical vessel. So maybe learning that could bring you a certain kind of understanding of what you are, how the universe, how you are co-creating with the universe. It is basically that energy center that serves to connect you with all the energy that is beyond you. So connects you with source, with divinity, and it brings it helps with enlightenment or understandings of things, because in a state where your 8th chakra is flowing healthily, you will be able to move in a more synchronistic and harmonious way with universal guidance, with all that is all that is divine, with all that is love, that is in the non-physical, or the that those who are in energy forms, okay, and source and the universe. So I feel like for your pal, it has already been activated for a while. It's only a matter of understanding it more, and only a matter of just allowing it to practice, to regulate, and to do its thing they're saying rehearse. It's a rehearsal, it's a preparation, and it's a time where they're rehearsing you in how to work like this, how to work with these, what your internal state, your inner being, so you can find coherence before your actual journey takes off. And it could take off for some of you very successfully, and that is why they'd like to prepare you as much as they can at this time. And they thank you for taking that time to stick around this workshop, this particular dimension density, to learn from them. And yeah, I feel like that's it for your pal, and they're just saying thank you, and they're just saying thank you for opening your hearts to understanding more of who they are. Thank you for opening your hearts to learning more, and like just being receptive to what they have to share, to the experience and the knowledge and the information that they have accumulated through their experiences and time of existence. Thank you for being open-hearted to that, and thank you for being receptive to their sharing and they're co-creations with you. Yeah, and I feel like it's a very uplifting energy for your pal. Things are starting to shift, and they are shifting in a big positive way. Once you learn these lessons, and for each of us, with the difference in our free will and all the details in our journeys, they're just saying, most of, like, those of us who are here have done a lot of work, and therefore you've landed here in this video. And if you are here, then please know that you are right where you need to be. You're just exactly where your soul wants to be, and your guides would like to confirm that and congratulates you on that, and also give you some encouragement in moving forward, because you are on such a beautiful timeline. They're saying you're on such a beautiful timeline of possibilities. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. For your pal, it has turned out to be quite a longer reading, and thank you for co-creating, for learning together here, receiving the messages alongside me, and learning together as we go. If you like my style of content, please consider helping me as an independent content creator by subscribing, pressing like, or if you would like to donate or tip me for any of the content that I do here, the support link would be down below in the description box. So I have my Ko-fi, I have my PayPal. However, they're never expected, and I'll always appreciate all the support that you give me in whichever way, shape, or form, monetary or not. Okay, so thank you so much, and I'm sending you so much love energy. May you all have a beautiful journey full of love, well-being, joy, wholeness from within and all around you always. And we'll see each other again here on Project Love Sky whenever the universal energy calls for us to be here together again. And thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.